Alright. Fuck, this is gonna be so bad. Alright, what is my creative process? This is a hard one for me in particular. Um, I'll probably have stuff behind me that might illustrate what my creative process looks like, or at least what my creative work looks like.
Deep in the north of Westeros, just beyond the wall, a new prize has been discovered.
So hopefully you can get a kind of idea of where I'm coming from. My creative practice typically involves everything to do with film, generally. I should probably say my name is Jack. I'm 21 years old and I'm living in Queensland, Australia. I've done a bachelor, I've done a diploma, and I've gone over to America and got a little scholarship for film and television stuff. It wasn't as impressive as it sounds, and I didn't even get paid for it, so that sucks. But still I get to say it, so that's nice. I did a grad film that I produced, directed, edited, blah blah blah, which is hopefully playing here. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of an indication. But my creative process, that's a hard one. I'm doing the masters right now, which is what this video is for. And I've been stuck. While editing this video, I just noticed this cube here, and I can't believe that I haven't noticed it before. Like, so many people have worked on this. I can't believe it. I've thousands of hours. So many times, just staring at it. I've never noticed it. But now I've seen it, and I can't unsee it. Sitting at my computer, which is just over here, and I've been banging my head against it. Well, not the computer, the table, for about 15 hours, because I don't want to record this. I'm going insane. So that's pretty much my creative process. I should probably note it's 4:19 a.m. I woke up 2 hours ago. Going a little bit crazy. If I were to answer this instinctually, pretty much this. Have an idea, which is, for example, this video right now. Right will speak my rambling thoughts about the idea, which is this here. Become distracted, discouraged, the usual. And then, abandon it for a while, come back, finish off a draft, abandon it again, 50% chance I finish off if it's like a really quick, just shit post or something like that. 1% chance I finish off if it's long, which is kind of like my grad film, but that was kind of mandatory, so, I go a little bit mad, feel a little bit crazy and shitty. However, if it's mandatory, work really hard, get it done, but then still not really feel satisfied, so that's kind of what the process is right now that I'm experiencing. My creativity often comes spontaneously. On the topic of spontaneity, there is an article called "The Relationship Among Spontaneity, Impulsivity, and Creativity." And researched in the article is the relationship among these three. There is quite a positive relationship between creativity and spontaneity, but a negative relationship between creativity and impulsivity. And they sound pretty similar to me, but I kind of see the distinction between them. I can quite agree with the article. It's just an interesting read. But if it doesn't come just out of thin air, it's typically coming from something that I feel inspired by, and I want to kind of show my own take on it, because my mind will go somewhere with it, and I want to write about it. So, for example, some music that I've listened to, I'll often go ahead and write a kind of like screenplay type thing for a music video for that. And that can be fun. Never going to make that music video, at least haven't so far, but that is kind of the fun part. Everything kind of with the divergent thinking. Divergent thinking is a thought process or a method used to generate more ideas creatively. So diving into that a little bit more, divergent thinking is constantly correlated positively with openness to experience and thought and things like that. It's an interesting topic, and I can totally agree with it. I definitely think that without being open to experience, if I was more closed-minded, then this process would be so much harder. It definitely wouldn't come naturally. I feel it's very easy and it flows for me, and I think that's because of that personality trait to do with my psychology. And in this kind of stage, my mind just kind of spreads out and does a whole bunch of different things, and it's a fun time until it's not, because then hard work comes, and that's really hard. So answering this question about what is my creative process has been a very difficult process for myself, because it's really got me thinking that I don't have a well-defined creative process. I've always been, if I'm gonna make something, it's been mandatory, and it's been easy enough to bang my head against the wall in the last 20 minutes and somehow deliver something that's at least passable. But when it comes to my own work, my own things that I want to practice myself and create, it's so hard to allow myself to do those things. Another academic resource for you. This one is called Passion and Persistence in Creativity. So this article looks at something called, among other things, it tests people amongst a self-reported grit subscale, a combination of passion and consistency of interests and perseverance. This one really got me thinking about what my own grit subscale would be, and I don't think the answer would be all too flattering. I feel as though I need to build up some more grit, and I'll touch on that later in the video about how I need to fail more. This research points to the importance of habitual hard work and commitment to long-term goals in these domains. That's a good line. And having that level of technical skill reach the point of my ambition, it's very, very difficult. This is at least what I hope to be a kind of teething kind of stage, that I have all these things that I want to do, but I kind of suck, and I can't really do them the way I want to do them. On this topic of technical skill not reaching the level of creative ambition, there's quite an interesting article about it, called Creative Expertise as Superior Reproducible Performance. Innovative and flexible aspects of expert performance. Very long name, but very interesting as well. The initial lack of productivity for beginners in these creative domains is consistent with the need for training and deliberate practice to reach a sufficient skill level. Can definitely agree with that, and it's a very hard process. In fact, basic skills and techniques are essential for composers, painters, authors, myself, as they are for musicians, athletes, and other performers in the traditional domains. Scientists must master a relevant knowledge and require the mental representations that support reasoning before they can develop new ideas. And how that applies to me is in a myriad of ways, because I want to do so many different things. I don't want to specialize in anything necessarily. I like to be a bit of an all-rounder. I enjoy doing all aspects that are included with this video, the filming, the setting up, the editing, the pre-production, all of it. Although it may be hard, I do enjoy it. And I can definitely sympathize with this article, that there's so much that I need to learn, and it's really annoying that I don't know it. But that's the fun, is that I get to learn it. So that's kind of where a lot of the frustration I feel is coming from, along with the dedication that it takes to do these things. I feel inspired by art, but also intimidated that I can't reach the same level as that. And this is, I think, where my creative process starts to get kind of bogged down. I don't yet feel as though I have an established formula to go about as far as a creative process is concerned. And that's why I'm taking such a personal kind of approach to this video, is because it's honestly very helpful, I would say, to myself to be able to lay it all bare and do it in a way that is more honest to myself and that isn't formulaic. If it's something large that has a due date, I'll work incredibly hard on it, best I can, but like I don't really feel like it's that good. It's very hard for me to describe it in detail because I'm really coming to terms with it myself. All in all, my creative process, I feel very underdeveloped, and that's a big sticking point for me. And I feel without having a well-developed creative process, I've really been struggling, and I've been struggling to develop it. So hopefully after this kind of teething process, I've come to terms with it a little bit more. What are my areas for refinement? All right, so let me give you a few examples of what I think is going wrong right now with my creative process. I've got a fucking goblin in my brain. He's messing with me. That's how it feels. So that's example 1. Example 2 is my work ethic. You know, not a whole lot of time to finish this off. And I still have to write more and edit everything. So, you know, it's 4:23 a.m. Probably should have been doing this 2 days ago. But, you know, again, goblin. I wish I could just kill him. Like a Tyler Durden style, but can't, unfortunately. Haven't tried shooting myself in the head yet. Maybe that will work. I should probably, look more into the psychological aspect of how my work ethic is affected by my psychology. And example 3 is, you know, deep insecurities. Always good to have. Deep insecurities that my work will, first of all, not receive any recognition ever. That one is very prevalent. Part 2 to that is that if it does ever receive any recognition, it'll be negative. This is a very interesting topic. I have quite enjoyed reading about this one a bit. The article is "The Dark Side of Creativity, Biological Vulnerability and Negative Emotions Lead to Greater Artistic Creativity." Fucking love this article. It's quite resonating with me. Decades of empirical research on personality traits of highly creative individuals have identified a relatively consistent set of core characteristics of creative individuals. These traits include, for example, introversion, emotional sensitivity, openness to experience, and impulsivity. A few things that we've covered before, but really succinctly put in this article. At the extreme of effective personality factors linked to creativity are mood disorders, and that is, I kind of feel, where I struggle in my creative process, as kind of mentioned before. And I think that comes from a feeling of exposure. It really feels like I'm revealing myself through my work, because I want to be honest about the things that I care about. And that really, I feel, reveals who I am, and I don't like doing that, not one bit. I really want to take the chance, but I'm so scared that I'll fail. I've never liked the feeling of failure, and it's very discouraging. But not trying feels worse. So I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Bonk. It kind of feels to me the equivalent of, you know, that cliche dream that you're naked in front of the class. You're completely exposed. Everyone can see all of your insecurities, all of your flaws. And that is scary. Because I feel like to make honest work, I have to put myself in a vulnerable, honest position. And that is scary. That vulnerability that comes with the honesty. And the fear being obvious that it's fucking scary for people to take a look directly at your heart and go, that sucks. that kind of blows. That's terrible. What are you, an idiot? What are you, fucking dumb? That absolutely sucks. And they're saying it like directly into your heart, and it's like, well, it sucks. One last academic article for you. This one being Knowledge and Creativity and Innovation. This one touches on the feeling of exposure involved with sharing creative work. There's a good little quote here, how our creativity is blocked in a variety of ways, including deep-seated beliefs about the world. The rest of the article, very interesting, but I quite like that line. It's quite relevant to me. But at the same time, this video feels like exactly that. So please be gentle. A brief plan about how I can approach my creative process in the future. I've been thinking about this question for a while, and I keep coming back to I just need to fail. I'm so scared of it, and I mean, it's not like I've never failed. I fucking fail all the time, but not really publicly. I don't want to show it, but I feel like that's what I need to do. I just need to keep. That's how I need to approach it in the future. I need to do my work, put it out there, get criticized, and then just keep learning and building off of that. And I mean, I've heard that a million times, but I still don't want to do it. But that's how I should approach my creative work in the future, I feel. A brief analysis of how my chosen approach will enhance the value of my outcomes. I believe that how I approach and develop my ideas allows me to have a very clear vision for them. Thinking very visually, I have a very clear image of it, of the end product, what it will look like from the very beginning, and that allows me to kind of follow along that path for the duration of its development. Obviously it will change, but I've always got a very clear image of it in my head. I also think that going through such a difficult process in developing my work and establishing my creative process and everything will allow it to develop in a much more honest and personal way, and using that process I can infuse more of myself into my work, I feel, and that's all I want to do. I just want to make things, and if a part of me can live on through the work that I make, then I'm happy. That's all I want. Thanks for watching. Thank you.